have fun, and you have to enjoy.
Well, that's why I liked it.
Sure, let's call it that. Okay. We're live on TikTok. What about Insta?
We're live everywhere. Good to
Okay,
go.
what about Facebook? Okay, what about TikTok?
What about YouTube?
Okay, Dave, you're on.
We're good to go?
Yeah, just
Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show, live with you every Tuesday night. A very special night indeed with a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Burwell.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of our show. Eric Vasquez on your far right, David Lamel here, and let's get into it. Our guest is Kevin Burwell. He is CT Weather Dog. You may have heard of him before. He's very well known throughout Connecticut and across the country now, even getting across the world, as the followers are coming from all over the place. Kevin is a great guy. You get to know him. Have any questions, please reach out through our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., etc. TikTok, we got about 50,000 people watching us right now, which is pretty
Hello,
cool.
TikTok.
And not to mention, we've got your people watching as well.
We do.
And if
My dog pound, as we call him.
the dog pound, I like it. Welcome to the dog. Welcome to Dog Pound to the Team Powerhouse Show.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, we don't do the Arsenio, but we get going.
Arsenio, how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get excited though. They're good.
So now, just so you all know, what Kevin does is something that is unique, I'll call it, because most people would normally have gone to TV, but people are getting away from TV to
Right.
find out the weather is, because you have to go through all their shtick, all their things in between, when you can just go right directly to your
Right.
page and get
One click.
just what you want to know about the weather.
Yep, right into the
Um,
point. That's the big
Let's
thing.
get a little background on you. So where are you from?
So I was born in East Haven, or not born in East Haven, but I was raised in East Haven. Not too far from here, actually. Spent 35 years of my life in East Haven.
David.
Yeah, Staven, known for our pizza. And then I moved up to, I'm in Bristol now, right down the street from ESPN.
Okay.
Started out, as a fun football playing, hockey playing young man in East Haven, eating pizza and drinking our soda.
Drinking
That's about
the
Foxen Park. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
from.
Foxen
What's
Park.
that? Foxen.
That's
No, I said, where is that from?
Actually,
East Haven.
East
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right on Foxen Boulevard.
It's
Foxen Road.
it's
I
the
guess it would make sense with Foxen.
If you have pizza in New Haven or anywhere around here, you'll see Foxen Park.
Connecticut
I see it.
pizza.
Yeah, I've seen it.
typically, Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a knockoff.
Oh no, it's the best you'll
I'm a
ever try.
transplanted New Yorker, so I'm not, up on this stuff.
Yeah, it's
But it
not.
makes sense.
It's not your regular Pepsi or Coke. It's good, real sugar,
Real sugar.
real good.
Real sweetness.
Yeah.
So you're from East Haven. How did you go from so what do we do now first of all? So during the day, what do you do during the daytime?
So full time, I work in public safety. I work for a local fire department.
Big shout out to the fire department.
Yeah, big shout out.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
Been doing
take it
it.
easy on them with the photos, huh?
Yeah, been doing it since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Started out in East Haven at 16. My family has done it, my whole life, from great grandparents up.
Wow.
My brother's a New York City firefighter. My father, God rest his soul, was an East Haven firefighter. My sister's involved. My mother was involved. My aunts, everybody. So I do that full time. We do a 24-hour schedule, so it's not hard. We do about 8 shifts a month, so it's pretty nice. Also work part time on the ambulance as well, because everybody who works for the fire department has to have a second job. It's just known to everybody.
So you're really taking care of the people.
Oh yeah.
Morning, day, and night.
I do truly love doing
man,
it.
Man of the people.
And then I do this, I shouldn't say it, sorry chief, but I do this while I'm working. I do my weather stuff while I'm
You
working.
also do it in the morning. You might do it in
Yeah.
nighttime, especially things as things change
Right.
throughout the day and evening times.
Yeah, I'm always updating. I have structured posts,
So how did you get involved from being in the fire department, working as a child since 16 years old in fire, which is, to be a fireman, I think, is one of the most courageous things you can be. I mean, you literally are running into the fire. I mean,
True.
There's all these jobs in the world you could have. I'm just going to touch on the firehouse thing because I have so much respect for people who are firemen. You're saying, okay, I want to save lives. I want to protect people. I want to be involved in this daily routine. That's a lot to just
Yeah.
comprehend. Did you think, okay, I want to run into fires, or is it just like, hey, this is what we do?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it is.
It's a
And,
family
you do it,
It's common with
Right.
either PD or fire. It's just
EMS, yeah,
my
you're just
uncle.
raised
Yeah,
into
you
it.
saw my cousin Vinny, right?
Yes.
When she's up on the stand, she goes, My brothers are mechanics. My dad's shop.
Yeah.
My uncles were mechanics on my mom's side. My uncles were mechanics on my dad's side. You
Right.
know.
And ironically, when I was probably 10 or 11, I used to hate my brother for running out of the house when the scanner went off and he ran out. Like, we used to get in big fights about it because I hated it. And then, when you come into reality of what life's going to be like and what are we going to do when we grow up, I said, okay, I want to do this. So I did it.
Pretty cool stuff.
And because of East Haven Fire is the reason I got into doing the weather. I met Dr. Mel, who, God rest, amazing man, grew up or lived in East Haven, and he lived on the shore, right on the beach. And anytime we would get like a nor'easter or a big storm, he would always come to our firehouse to do a report on Main Street. And he was there, I want to say it was like around 94-ish. He came in and he always greeted everybody. He was an amazing man. And was talking about the weather, and I was just intrigued by it. When you talk to somebody, you get captivated by it, right? And I was just captivated by the way he was talking. And I'll never forget, to this day I use it and I say it. He said, the weatherman's greatest tool is just looking out the window. And I think that's why I do it the way I do it, as opposed to, and nothing against the TV guys, because obviously they went to college, they work hard, and they do what they do.
Absolutely.
But they have to do it for ratings, right? That's important to them.
Little fluff in the background.
Right,
a little
and I don't blame them. They have to kind of get people excited to keep tuning in.
Yeah.
Where I'm just straightforward and to the point.
Because
I look out the window.
You're not on camera when you're doing this.
Right.
You're just actually posting information.
Right.
Which is what the nitty gritty kind of just straightforward information. I hope I don't lose the mic on this one here.
And I truthfully, I think with social media these days, I think it's harder. When you're on camera, you're one-on-one with the world, but they can't interact.
You can add a little more personality. The
Right.
guys on camera who are great, right? They do this whole, schmoozing kind of thing. When you're on social media and you're posting just bullet points, it's kind of like dry but straightforward, straight
Right.
to the point. But that's what people need, because people need to get information quickly. So you develop this website or this Facebook page, and you get involved in the weather.
Right.
And I'm assuming, because you got quite a bit of following.
Yeah.
Which is quite an impressive thing to say.
Thank you.
And it's growing week by week. I mean, from a couple weeks ago to today, you've up a few thousand people on
Yeah.
your posts. You cover all the weather, right? Whether it's going to be sunny,
Right.
rainy, snowy.
They're all weather.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all
as much as everyone loves sunny and dry, when we had that drought for a while, my page was boring because you have to keep, the weather was boring, but you have to keep people coming in, right? So you have to find something to do. So I would do post up your favorite picture of, what your dog's doing today, or post up your favorite picture of your kids enjoying this warm weather and stuff like that.
So let's talk about that CT Weather Dog.
Yep.
So what's the name of the puppy?
The dog that's there is Dixie, or Brown Girl as we call her.
And I noticed you changed the picture recently too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had you had a different dog with a different logo in the background. Before anybody out there have anything to say at all?
Yeah, Bridget Patricia said, "Look at good guys." Then she said, "Is that a new Powerhouse coming?"
It is
It
a
is.
new. You said Bridget. Oh, Bridget. Yes, that is a brand new tumbler. That is the new tumbler for Team Powerhouse. That is pretty cool stuff.
It is very nice. Fits in
Yeah.
your cup holder.
It fits in your cup.
And thank you for that, by the way.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And anybody who wants to be a part of this, except at the end we give out a free tumbler
Oh,
out.
nice.
And a guest comes to the show and gets to be on our show, they also get a tumbler. Which
Oh,
is
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
They're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
By the way, my phone's blowing up, so the photos are coming in.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sure they're photoshopped.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of things.
just don't open your mouth too big.
I gotta be careful.
Oh my God! The guys in the firehouse. I want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. Also, if you want to give our friend Kevin here a shout out,
Yeah, I
we
appreciate
can't
it.
mention which firehouse specifically
A
we're
friendly
working
shout
for,
out.
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely great stuff. And of course, want to give a big shout out to Terry. Looking forward to meeting Terry. Terry was going to come by today. But
Yeah, she's under the weather.
not feeling very
feeling
well.
good.
Under the weather.
Love you.
I
I
was
miss
gonna
you.
say-
Pun intended.
Yeah. She's battling it like everyone else is,
Yeah.
as I sound sick too.
Well, you know what? It's the season. It happens.
Everybody's
you know? You're going to get it, and then it's over, right? Not going to
Yeah,
work.
we're picking up 2-3 people a day at least that are sick.
So, you use this analogy of just looking out the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you do more than that. So,
Yeah. So, I mean, you hear commonly on the news, you hear the forecasters talk about the models, right? This model, European model, showing this, and the GFS is showing this, and I think lately the news has gotten more specific with that stuff, right? They're labeling it more, and all that is computers throughout the world. We have a North American, a Canadian, a European, and a global, and what they do is the computer takes an algorithm of what data they see, and they present a forecast in the computer, and then your weather meteorologist and stuff take some of the data they're seeing and say, okay, the computer's saying it's going to do this, it's going to move this way, but I think there's some other factors and it's going to do this. So I take the same exact information, your local news guys do, and I interpret what I interpret, and then I post it up. But my key thing is I don't, like we were saying earlier, I don't hype anything up. It's straightforward to the point. When you click on my page, it's right there. Every morning I start with a bus stop forecast. So every morning parents can log on.
That's
and
actually a good idea, to bus stop
Right.
forecast for kids who get them at the
So
freezing cold.
So do you have a 90-minute delay if the buses?
Yeah,
weather, or-
I do have schools that have reached out to me asking what they think for.
But you're not 90 minutes behind
No,
yourself.
not usually. No, not usually.
That's
But it was one of the one big thing about my page that people were drawn to was the bus stop forecast, because it really is about 4 or 5 lines, but it's simply morning, midday, afternoon, and then a look ahead, and it's just to the point.
So let's talk about the weather delay and with schools and that kind of stuff. Now on TV, they will have it scrolling through 7,000 schools. Are you posting like schools specifically? How do you do it? I'm just curious.
I don't post specifically. Each school, I don't want to say has a contract, but they're affiliated with certain networks to allow the schools. So let's say East Haven, for instance. You really don't see East Haven. I think it's on Channel 8, but you don't see it on like WFSB. To where their station is kind of where the schools are.
Interesting.
I will only post generically if I think there'll be closings or cancellations, kind of statewide. But if, a lot of the listener or followers will comment and say, "What do you think about my town?" or "What do you think about my town?" And I pride myself in having a 100% response rate. I always answer my comments, always answer everybody who comments to me, messages me. I always make sure to get an answer to them, because they're the ones that keep me going.
Absolutely.
So do you find that at least the guys on TV, that they're fairly accurate with their?
They're close. It's
It's a running joke that it's the only job that you can have.
right. And you can be
right
wrong
half
at all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And I think a lot of their being wrong is, again, like I said, the only way to get viewers is to show higher numbers,
Fluff it
right?
up, yeah.
So if you're watching the news and someone says we're going to get a foot of snow, or someone says we're only getting an inch or two, that inch or two doesn't excite you. But you start on a foot, it gets exciting.
I
So
don't get excited with a foot.
I don't get excited. I think the snowplow people get excited with the
Right.
I'm gonna get excited
the
over
parents who
here.
want to take the kids out and play, and
Right.
where I'm just what I see and a little of what I think is going to happen. And knock on wood, I've been really good through the years.
By the way, we give a big shout out to Bridget over there from the Randa team, and thank you so much for watching the show, Bridget, and your team over there, which are amazing people. And again, if anybody out there has any questions, if you missed the show and you watch later on, Kevin will get back to you. As a matter of
I
fact,
always
you can
answer.
tag him, and it'll make it even easier for him to see
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this whole thing with, like, again, obviously, you have a lot of people. Oh, question.
A question off YouTube. Turkey VR said, do you think Johnny K has any different interpretation on your forecast?
Johnny.
All right, so hold on.
I know what that is.
Hold on. So what's the person's name? Or
It's
this
probably an inside joke.
Yeah, it is.
What's the
It's an
person's
inside
name?
joke.
I was gonna say this is like a username.
Okay, what's his name? What was his name?
Johnny K. I know where this is going.
No.
Well, let's
this-
answer the question though.
No,
Let's-
I am
Janet.
very
was the
very
question?
intrigued by Johnny K's opinions and his insights of the weather. I am definitely appreciative of what he shares with me.
All right, Johnny K.
I've actually tried to get him to link up on my page, truth be told, because he has a really nice weather station.
Oh, very
And I
cool.
wanted to put a live feed from his station.
Now, who's the person who reached that question out though?
Turkey VR.
Turkey VR. Thank you so much for watching. Be part of the show.
I'll find out who it
We
is.
like that. I like that very much. So
I can't tell you how much my phone is going off in my pocket right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We should definitely make sure that we pull them up and kind of see
Yeah.
what's up to them. Listen, you're a man of the people. You're well loved by many people. As a matter of fact, I was looking at how many people follow you. All of our clients are on his page. All of them. I was like, boom, 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 boom. You know, also Cookie Girl.
Okay, Steffi's.
Steffi
Yeah,
Sweets.
when I got hired on the fire department, some guys were telling me like, oh, when they found out who I was, oh, my wife follows you, or my sister, or something. Or, you know, I run into people in public. They're always welcome to come up and say hi, and you know,
That's very
I'm always
cool.
welcome to greet them or, you know, introduce myself.
And they, of course, are asking questions about the weather.
Oh, immediately. Yeah. It's always a thing. You know, what do you think? I mean, it's the generic conversation maker, right?
You-
Anybody
have a lot of-
complain to you?
Oh, I get.
You said it wasn't
there's-
gonna rain.
There's haters. Believe me, there's a lot of haters.
Yeah.
But
You
there's
have
a block button. So
You have a lot of businesses that also reach out to you.
Yes.
In different fields. From you mentioned contractors over here that may be reaching out to you about weather patterns, snow.
yeah, landscapers, golfing, you know, any kind of business or activity that's related to the weather. A lot of the younger, like nursery schools that do have outside activities will reach out and ask, you know, what I think the weather's going to be. Golf is the biggest one I have. The local golf ranges always reach out and ask, you know, what we see, and they
many
don't.
people
It's
have-
not just snow; it's rain,
Right.
wind.
How many people should they bring on to work that day because
Right.
it's going to be raining and nobody's going to show up? per
And that's
se.
the pressure of being right, I
Right.
think, you know, and where the TV forecasters, you know, if they're wrong, you know, like you said, it's the only job you can keep when you're wrong.
Right.
But me, I start losing followers, and you guys know with social media, you start losing that engagement and the followers.
Yeah, but
It hits
they've also got a
hard.
built-in excuse. They can say, "Well, the model changed,"
Right.
You know? Or the heavy the low pressure system.
Yeah, they're smarter than I am,
as
so
we
they
thought
come
it
up with
was,
much
or
better,
whatever, so.
much better excuses.
Right. Different kind of ways to skin the cat, if you will.
Right.
So how did you come up with the name Weather Dog?
Yeah, you're asking that. So when I first started the page, it had to be over. I think it was over 10 years ago. now.
Weather Dog.
That's me. I had a partner in the beginning,
Yeah.
and we started this together.
Business partner.
A business partner. We started this together, and
that out.
yeah, that it's not going to end. I can just tell you right now that's not going well.
That's why we
Just what-
announced
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So we had started a page, and his name was related to a dog, so the dog came in with that. And then when we decided to go separate ways, we decided to keep the name. And I like the name. I think it's different.
Absolutely.
You know, how many times can you use the word weather in a title, right? And I cover all of Connecticut, and I get people, like you said, from Rhode Island, or the big one is I'm traveling to, you know, New Zealand. You know what the weather's going to be like, and it amazes me. But I decided to take the original Weather Dog name that we had and just put CT in front of it, and
Which makes absolute sense
Right.
because here we are in Connecticut,
Correct.
and you are the Weather Dog.
that's it.
I think you still. I think you still do like a. Hoo, hoo.
I know. Every time I say the dog pound, I think of Arsenio Hall. For those of us who knew what he was,
The dog pound. That means the WWE was
Right.
I hear
Or
Or
the
dog
Cleveland
pound, I
Browns.
think Browns.
right?
Or what about the junkyard dog?
No, the junkyard dog. Yeah,
JYD,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And you were saying about the logo, so I
just changed that.
yeah, because I would use a contest and have people send in a photo, and if I liked the photo a lot, I would use it as the head page. And the one that's been on there was the one I liked for the winter for a while. And we've had busy weather, so I haven't changed it as much. But recently I changed it to my girlfriend's dog.
And a
who's
big
now
shout
mine
out,
too.
speaking of dogs, to Kelly Murray
Yes.
and her amazing company,
Right.
right? Like she is True Love
Yeah.
Pet Care.
If you need your dog clean or washed, clean, groomed, she's the one.
True Love Pet Care in Hamden. Also, the dog I mentioned, I saw something.
Yeah, it's related. Her dog is the brother of the dog that's on there. And there was a little debate about whose dog was better, if you saw in the comments. But Brown Girl's my baby, so I keep her
Which
on
one
there.
has a bigger following?
Oh, and I think Dixie does. Dixie's the better personality.
Winner.
Yeah, no offense, Kel, but
You know, as a matter of fact, you could do something with that. Actually, you could play on that whole dog thing, and because people videos. Do you do videos at all on your
I
page?
do. I let videos come in. I haven't.
Yeah.
That's where, you know, I'm hoping the future is going to go to the TikToks and to have kind of like the shorts and the reels that are popular now.
Yeah.
But every time I do a poll, people don't want it. They want just text. And
I'm going to say this to you. If you had people post about their dog in video form, in let's say a 10, 15, 20-second video, and you post on your page, I think that because what we've learned is video is everything in as far as people watching.
Right.
And they get excited. They'll see a cute dog and it's doing its thing and yada yada yada. It's relatable.
Right.
And it also will be something people will send you. You can post. Other people will
Right.
watch
In
it,
the
see it.
short format they want, that quick.
I'm gonna tell you, if you get golden doodles, by the way, the personality.
My mother had golden doodles.
Yeah.
God rest her soul, but she had them.
We have a golden doodle. The personality is human.
Oh, yeah.
The most human-like animal I've ever experienced. Like, completely needs you at all times to have your. It's
Right.
gonna be touching you, and touching it. It's amazing. But anyway, so I think you should do even like a challenge with the pets, and you could even do a breed challenge.
Yeah.
On the Weather Dog channel over there on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues I can go down with the
Yeah.
dog part.
All right, so you do get things wrong once in a while.
Oh, absolutely.
It must kind of be tough because you don't like to be wrong
No.
and to upset the people out there.
Yeah, the people I feel that are affected by it are the ones that, they ask me, is there going to be a school delay? And then there's not because the snow didn't show up.
School delay.
And truth be told, we all do it as parents. You make plans, right? You plan on my
Yes.
son being home or my daughter being home, and then they have to go to school or they have to stay home because the weather guy was wrong. So I will say my followers are very supportive when I am wrong. I do pride myself on not being, but I am. And I have certain guys that like to let me know when I'm wrong that are friends, quite often. But
dirty rat.
yeah, it's bad. But I do my best. I really do. And if someone sincerely asks me or sends me a message asking like, why did you say it was going to be this and we didn't get it? I'll engage them and I let them know truthfully. What I saw.
According to what was happening.
Right, the data I saw said it would be this.
The one thing about weather that's tricky, right, is like it can change. And I'm just guessing.
Especially here in New England.
Right, all of a sudden, like the wind does this, and it just goes in a different kind of
Right.
stick, and then everything else kind of.
Well, we have a weather wall of Long Island Sound right there. So a lot of your nor'easters, form down in Texas, come up the coast, and then they hit a wall, and that's Long Island. So they lose strength, weaken. So what people see hitting, let's say, Delaware, Washington, New Jersey, and say, oh, this is a big one. Well, it hits Long Island, it weakens, or it hits the warmer warmer water of Long Island Sound, and it depletes it. So next thing you know, that 2-foot storm in New Jersey is 3 or 4 inches in Connecticut.
I never had any idea about this kind of stuff at all.
Oh, it gets deep. And, rightfully so. I'm not, again, as smart as those guys that went years and years of college, but I'm a big researcher and I love to go over the data over and over until I get it right,
And
or at least close to right.
But you're also having fun.
Oh, yeah, and that's
Right.
the big part.
And you're-
My kids like it. They enjoy it. They laugh about it. We joke about it. But it's enjoyable.
It's being a part of the people and the towns and the local communities and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, I've
you
met
know,
some amazing
it-
people.
It's
and a lot of
definitely-
connections.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm here, right?
Absolutely. When you reached out, or Kelly reached out and said, "Listen, I got a guy who wants to come on the show. His name is Kevin. He's got, I was very excited about it because I loved. Eric and I have met so many people
There's
the
my
last
jacket.
3 years.
Oh, all right. Want to
Yeah.
make sure.
What's that? Oh,
There was a sound.
over the last 3 years, we have met so many people from different avenues, different kind of business, different kind of environments, and we learn so much all the time. Even like, there's never been a show we don't learn something new, something that
Right.
And
He learns more than I do.
Well, and that's the
all
thing
the
with
time.
weather is people even ask me we'll get scientific and very descriptive in the comments.
Yeah.
And I'm always one to answer it. If I don't know, I'll tell them, like, you're clearly above my pay grade.
Right.
But
I don't know, but I'm gonna get back to you, right?
yeah, exactly. And I do. I will go and research it or find it out. People, when we've had this really strong wind, I get people asking me, like,
What's with the freaking wind? By
Oh,
the
it's
way?
been crazy.
It's freezing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get in the car. Speaking of wind, I get in the car. It says it's going to be 40 degrees. I walk outside. I look like I blew dry my hair sideways. I'm like, what in the hell's
We don't
going
have
on?
that
Oh, is that
problem.
what happened?
That's what happened. Like,
Okay.
what is it? That's what
Oh,
crazy.
shit.
It's,
we don't use the Aquanet.
hold on, I hit hairspray. Hair goes
Yeah,
over.
and
You
that's,
see it, right?
I didn't even look in the mirror to see what it looks like today.
that's the
That's
one.
fine. It's just.
Oh my god! Why did you say something? I had no idea.
I thought you were going for humor today.
Yeah.
It was the faux
Oh my
hawk.
god, the faux hawk. That's awesome. You walk outside. How many of you guys been outside today? You went to walk to your car. It looks sunny. It's beautiful, nice and clear. Like, oh my god, beautiful day. and then all of a sudden,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you get hit by like a smack.
Well, and that goes to the bus stop forecast, right? I'll put on there, and it's a shout out. I'll say shout out to Gil Simmons because he does like a jacket alert, right?
Yes.
And I kind of fed off of that, and I'll do
Gil Simmons does the socks too.
yes,
With Vinnie Penn.
yes.
Another
I'll
great
do
guy.
an umbrella alert, or I'll do a heavy jacket alert. You know, just to joke around, but to tell parents that are getting their kids ready in the morning, like, hey, that wind is brutal, you know. And I'll even go as far as posting like exposure times. You know, if you're out in this wind chill for 10 minutes, you can get frost nip or stuff like that to keep people informed.
It
'cause
wouldn't
it's
be.
been-
You know what you might do is you might do a little video yourself on the page
I know, I've thought about it, and
Yeah.
if you guys want to see videos, please let me know because I'm not sure.
of the weather.
Yeah, of the weather, not anything else. Trust me, it's all best from up here.
I'm sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything.
But I think it would be a bad idea. I could see you walking outside. You know, it's windy. You start flying
Yeah.
sideways or something.
Like the one
that.
where the ladies hit with the fish, or you know, have my son throw like a sign at me or something.
Right. You know what it is, honestly? The weather is so remarkable. We're in New England, like you said. It's changing all the time. It's
Right.
hot, and then it's freezing, and then it's freezing, and then it's raining, and then it's raining, and then it's sunny. And like you can never, I don't know how,
It's one of those places where you truly have all four seasons, right? I mean, we have
all year long.
all the weather here.
Yeah.
You know, where in Florida, it's, you know, when they got that snow, last week?
Yeah.
What was it? New Orleans didn't have a plow truck.
Can you
Nothing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Well, why would they need a snow? When the last time it snowed
Right.
in New Orleans?
Right.
I mean,
We get
Well,
snow
they can
here.
use the plow to pick up the confetti
Yeah.
and all the other
Right.
stuff from all
The
the
beads.
parades and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we look at the snow they got as like a dusting,
Right.
where they were looking at it as like the end of the world.
My
Yeah,
fa-
but did you see? I think it was either yesterday or the day before. They had record high temperatures.
Right. Yeah, it's been the weather
Record
this year
high temperatures.
has been very difficult to keep track of.
It's what they call it El Nino. What was that?
Yeah, El Nino, La Nina. There's so many.
Was that from that back in the 80s or 90s? Oh, get a question out there.
Yeah, I've seen a YouTube viewer.
Uh-oh.
VR.
Yeah.
I know who this is now.
The drought, surprisingly, you nailed it. What model do you use, or do you feel this model is?
Then you got to speak
Yeah,
up
that was a-
louder
that was a
and clear
loud
on.
question.
That was an intelligent question.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get
kind
a
of not
que-
wonder if
but
it's the
one
same
turkey-
guy.
The turkey
I like the
person,
VRs
right?
asking
Turkey
questions.
VR.
Thank you
Excuse
so
me.
much, VR. But
Yeah.
let's get the
We
first
heard
question out.
We
One
heard it.
question at a time.
That was one question.
Okay, so say it slowly.
When you predicted the drought,
When you predicted the drought,
Yep.
surprisingly, you nailed it with the model.
nailed it.
Or you nailed it. What model did you use, and do you feel this model is the most accurate?
So what model did you use, and do you feel it's this accurate?
So it's, I mean, I guess it's a little trade secret, but you hear it on TV all the time. Like I said earlier, they use the European model, the global, the GFS, the Canadian model, and the North American. When I started this, we felt the North American model was always one of the more accurate. And the data that one shows and predicts, always to me, is more, you know, percentage-wise is always closer to what it is. And I am an historian, and I look back at all the data and see which model has been, you know, nailing the forecast. And the North American has been the one that's pretty on top of it lately. But, you know, looking at trends in certain times, if something else is closer, then I'll use that one. But, you know, a big thing we do is look at a trend with the models. So if they're all starting to come into line with the same thing, you know, you kind of get an idea of what's coming by that. You know, if all four of them say we're going to get something, you're going to get it. Where one is vastly different, it comes into your personal feelings of what's coming.
So when you say model,
Yeah.
the model addresses
It's not
various
like
types of
it's
weather.
not Cindy Crawford or
No, I know that. Yeah.
Or the girl that walked
And
that.
you
Yeah.
went old school with Cindy
I did.
Crawford,
I was thinking Brooke Shields first, but that's too old.
Yeah. Okay. No, the reason I asked this question is like, okay, so like when there's a hurricane, right?
Yep.
They said the models have it going either this path or this
Right.
path or this path or this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like 20 different models, right?
Right.
So you say the model a lot. So I don't know if is there a rain model, a wind model, a snow model, or is
Right,
it,
so the
are
model-
they all just encompassing?
Right. The model is essentially a computer program that takes data from different weather points throughout the world or wherever the computer is set up. So let's say the North American, it'll take, you know, information from Maine, from California, wherever, and it comes up with an algorithm of what that computer thinks the weather is going to do at that moment in time, and then forecasters or meteorologists take the data they see and what's in the computer and formulate their forecast. So when they say a model, it's just that computer is saying, Johnny 5 is going, we're going to get a hurricane, or, the other one's saying we're going to get rain. So I look at it, usually stick with one that's pretty accurate. And then I'll take whatever I see on top of it and kind of give my own personal feelings.
I'm guessing, especially come time of summer-ish, spring, summer, as it starts to get a little hotter and moisture in the air with the temperatures. And then you have I'll call it the clouds that create more rain all of a sudden, or sporadically, or continuously. That's going to get a little tricky also.
Yeah.
I mean, summertime, we got bombarded with rain this past summer. It was every weekend. Can you
Right.
change that for me, please?
I know. I
'Cause,
wish I
the
could
week-
flip a switch.
like,
I get it.
what's-
People ask me that too.
I mean, like literally, like
Can you give me a nice weather? I'm getting married.
I mean, rain during the week, don't rain on the weekends. Give me some,
Right.
freedom on the weekends over here.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast things change here in Connecticut. 1 minute you're outside and it's a beautiful sunny day,
Yeah.
and then not even 10 minutes later you're getting hit with this crazy thunderstorm. And
Well, I mean, with some of those storms, you don't need a guy to tell you, because you can see those.
right,
those
and that
dark
goes
gray
back to
clouds.
originally, right? Look out the window.
It's like, okay, I think that's Hamden.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so
and-
that's, it's, okay, so like, okay, is that Hamden's south of here? So, okay, it's coming up, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I think, and I tell people this, predicting the thunderstorms and when they're going to happen is almost impossible. The computers tell you, okay, there's a system forming, or, a low and a high are colliding, and the updrafts are causing, low pressure and all that jumble.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't predict where, when they're going to form or how they're going to form, because you don't know how quick things are going to change
It's
around
like
here.
tornadoes.
Right.
I'm going to say something about Florida, for example. I don't know what they got going on down there for weather, rain kind of technology.
Yeah, it's a mess down there.
but
Love Florida.
I
but-
love Florida. My son's in Florida. My family's in Florida. But I'll tell you two things that I have realized. They'll tell you what time it's going to start raining, and literally, like it's almost like a
Yeah, it's like a
clock.
clock.
Yeah,
boom.
But it rains for 5 minutes, and then
Right.
5 minutes later it's dry.
But end of the world kind of rain.
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
that happen? Like that you have. If I can ask you this question, I'm not sure if it's a question to ask you. But like down there, it rains like it's the end of the world. It comes down like bullets.
Yeah, well, their air is saturated with moisture.
Is that what it is?
And if you look at, how humid it is down there, and you think of the upper atmosphere as like a sponge, that sponge only holds so much. So as all that warm air is getting drawn up, right, hot air rises, so all that warm air is getting sucked up there, eventually that sponge has got to overflow.
Yeah.
And what they're watching is the updraft of moisture, and they're seeing how much moisture is being drawn up, and then they realize, okay, hey, there's a lot that's going to be here at this time, so we're going to go ahead and say the thunderstorm's going to start. And the way these programs have gotten, like I have a Futurecast, I can tell you when it's going to start raining in, right here on Washington Avenue in North Haven to the minute.
Really?
The way the radars and stuff are set up.
That's pretty
which
cool.
is great for me, because people ask me all the time on my page, what's going to happen in Torrington? And then someone will say, what's happening in Branford? And then what's happening in
Right.
East Haven? And what time's it snowing here? And, I try and be broad of it's going to start around 5 o'clock, but people want to be specific, and I try. It's hard, but I try.
Listen, you out there know you always want to know what the weather's going to be like, and you get the best you can as far as
Right.
information goes out to the people, and the people appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
We're really excited to have you here and getting a chance to everybody to see you in person, because they don't have to see
No,
who this
they
guy
don't.
is. The weather dog has no visual other than the dog. Well, now we
Right.
know who the dog is. This is the
Yeah,
dog.
and that's the,
Ooh, ooh.
the future I'm hoping to change. Now
We're gonna
I'm
have
not
to-
going to
we're
hear
gonna
that.
have- We're gonna
I'm
have
hear
to
that all the
ask
time.
maybe Terry or your son Chase over here can do a little video in the morning of you, like doing a
Yeah.
little weather thing. Post it out there. Maybe in the summertime, a little thong action or something like that. Something.
I've had a few in the past, brief ones of, like
Some fun.
road conditions, right?
Right.
I'll have my son or someone take a video of the road as we're driving. We don't video while we're driving, and say, people are like, oh, the roads are horrible, and unfortunately, in social media, you have a lot of trolls and stuff.
No.
I just had one this last storm that it took me forever to find them and block them, but he was just posting complete gibberish of what was really going on, and it happens. I get it.
It is what it is.
But I will take a video of like the road and say, okay, it really is like this. Like the TV luckily has the cars they can drive around and show. I don't
Right.
have that luxury,
Right.
so I got to come up with ideas and different ways to draw the people in. And I think you're right. I think video is the next step. It seems to be where social media is these days.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Everybody, we have Kevin Burwell, CT Weather Dog. Amazing time.
It's
What
not
we
going to
do,
stop
do-
now.
Eric,
I'm not doing
I can't even do the dog voice.
that. Hand action's gonna get used.
You got to get that big finger and get the whoop whoop.
All right,
One more question.
one more question.
So we got two more questions.
Two more questions.
One of them's from the first guy.
VR.
It's a two-parter.
Two-parter.
Is it true, as far as
I know exactly who this is now.
as firefighter, you work on any and all conditions?
I work as an EMT with the
just-
fire
hold
department.
on. So as a firefighter, is it true you work in all weather conditions?
On any all conditions. I
On-
don't know. I think they missed it this time. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So the department I work for now, I work as an EMT, primarily as an EMT. It's with the fire department. When I volunteered as a fireman, yes, you do work in all weather. It's like the postman, right? Yeah. Snow, sleet, or rain. But currently I work on an ambulance with the fire department.
Like realtors.
Yeah.
Right. Like realtors, exactly right.
We got a second question from Jason DeLoyne.
Oh,
Jason, thank you for
Hi,
being part of the
Jason.
show.
I can only imagine this one.
Turkey asked the same one.
Tur-
What is a bombogenesis?
What is a bombogenesis?
That is a very good question,
Hey,
and I'll have to get back to you on that
Bombo.
one. Because I've heard it so much recently, and I honestly have not looked it up to understand what it is.
I'm thinking
I-
about the song. Hey,
yeah,
Bombo,
I truthfully don't know.
Bombo. What was that from? Is it Rich?
Those are some of those technical terms that people just. It was Jumba Jumba. I think
Jumbo
was the song.
Jumbo. Okay,
Yeah.
Bombo Bombo. See, I just
I'll
changed
see you
it.
tomorrow, Jason.
No idea.
Hey everybody, the next part of our show over here is a free tumbler giveaway. You'll get this beautiful tumbler. If you want a tumbler, you've got to let us know on social media. Hey, my name is X. I would like to sign up for be on the spinning wheel to get a free tumbler. We got to get your contact information so we can get it out to you when you win. All right, Thane, let's spin that wheel.
Jason's probably drinking from a tumbler with a nice
A little
alcoholic
whiskey,
beverage
a
in
little
there.
whiskey or bourbon.
Oh, okay. Interesting, interesting.
Bombo
A
Bombo.
bombogenesis. It's a meteorological term.
Ah,
It's when low and high pressures collide.
very cool.
Oh, it's like a sudden drop
Rapidly
rapid intensifies.
over
Yeah,
a short period of time.
that makes sense now. Yeah, I
Jason,
truthfully.
Great question, Jason.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, it's also known as explosive cyclogenesis,
Mhm.
weather bomb, or a bomb cyclone,
So,
which I've heard before. Bomb
Hurricane
cyclone.
Sandy had that happen. You know, you saw the movie with the perfect storm. Oh, sorry, to spin the wheel.
We got a special winner.
We got PR74S.
PR74S, big winner.
PR74S, you are the lucky winner of a gorgeous tumbler, great for hot and cold liquids all year long.
Fits in your cup holder.
Make sure to get in touch with us so we can make sure we get this tumbler out to you. And again, if you want a tumbler, we would love to give one to you. We appreciate you being a part of our show every week. Please get us your contact. Say I want a tumbler and I want to be on the wheel to win this chance. It's exciting.
They're a great tumbler. Or if they want Weather Dog merch,
Ooh.
they go on my page and it's
let's,
on there.
Let's talk about that. So there's one more thing, everybody. There's a Weather Dog page for merch,
Mm-hmm.
swag.
Yeah, it's
What's the page?
there's a link on my page for bonfire.com. And you-
Bonfire.
Bonfire, B-O-N.
Bonfire.
And when you click on that link, you can go there and pick from men to children, whatever you like. There's a variety of stuff from hoodies to t-shirts, youth to adult. And once you get on there, you pick what you want, the size you want, and it comes already screened and sent right to your door.
Very
So,
cool. Check that page out. Thank you so much for being on the show, my
Thank you,
friend.
guys. I appreciate
We had a
it.
great time here today. You did a great job. Everybody out there, again, if you have any questions for Kevin, do not hesitate.
Oh,
Put
they're
him on
gonna
the
come in.
page. Make sure to tag him on that question, and let's continue to make that page blow up.
Yeah, let's
All
get
right.
it growing.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank
for being
you.
on our show. You've been great, my friend.
Thank you. I
very
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and everybody under the sun. There's like 20 different places where
Oh, it's crazy.
we used to label them off, LinkedIn, X, yada yada yada. But the important thing is you're watching and being a part of our show every week. And every week we bring on fantastic guests. We talk about real estate sometimes too, which is what it originally
Yeah.
started off as. But
I'd love to do it again. It was great.
absolutely. And if you're somebody out there who's a local business and you'd like to come on our show, we'd love to have you. Get you a little advertising and get the people to know who you are. So, that being said, thank you so much for being part of our show, everybody. We will see you next week.
Have a good day.